Do do do. I'll be long in a moment. Just turn this down a little bit. There we go. Thought I muted. Shit. Didn't need to hear me cough like that. Yeah. Yeah, I've been having a bit of lightheadedness and ended up leaving work early. Yes, I know. The dreaded DAYJOB. Now when you can sit in your chair and the office starts spinning around you when you close your eyes after a couple seconds and doesn't go away until you open them again, yeah, it's probably about time to head home. Anyways. Ta-da! I'm here again. So, it's another puzzling Wednesday. We're done with up to Myst 5. Like I mentioned, I'm not touching Uru on stream just because of the freaking size of that game, because I remember actually trying it. It was also initially designed as like an MMO kind of social thing. And I know, I guess there's some people still play it, but it'd be kind of lonely walking around. Anyway, so we're moving on to Obduction. Actually, I had to look this one up because it's an actual word, although spell check doesn't seem to think it is. Let us go to our friendly Google. Obduction. Let's see. Obduction definition. It is geology. It is the sideways and upwards movement of the edge of a crustal plate over the margin of an adjacent plate. I actually remember that from geology class. Holy shit. One of the things that can result in earthquakes if it happens in sudden movements. But generally, their plate movement geology moves at really, really slow speeds, like really slow. Generally, I mean, if you thought glaciers were slow, glaciers grow generally. Last century or two might be an exception to there. Glaciers tend to grow and recede on the order of centuries, millennia, unless your planetary environment starts going haywire over the course of 100-something years, 200-300 years. That'll change some things. But anyways. All right. My blue screen issues seem to have been solved. In fact, actually, I had to go through the process of, for anyone who wasn't here for yesterday, Asus has a very annoying software called Armory Crate that they use for delivering their software. Drivers, I fuck if I know if I'm actually running any drivers through that shit. I don't know. Anyways, some of the drivers installed by it and AI Suite, Windows does not care for. Windows especially doesn't care for it if you shut on driver verification. That put me in a blue screen loop. Windows also doesn't like Thunderbolt devices being connected in when trying to run safe mode. They don't tell you that one until you actually look up the actual error message itself. But you have to be very specific with it, because if you don't, then Google will think you're looking up something else. I ran into that constantly. Search for this. Oh, well, we're going to put these other search results. That's not right. Anyways, long story made short, I was able to get the thing fixed, but not without a lot of manual shit. Ugh. Anyways, to really fully clean it off, I actually, in order for me to clean off Asus's AI Suite 3, I had to reinstall Armory Crate, then reinstall AI Suite 3 because I deleted a bunch of files to keep it from loading, and trying to reload the drivers. So then I could go through, anyways, reinstall AI Suite 3, to then uninstall it, to then uninstall Armory Crate 3, and I had to run their specific cleaner in safe mode to clean the program off. Great work, Asus. Great work. On the other hand, it feels like my system boots up much faster on a fresh restart, and that's saying something when I'm running on an M.2 NVMe SSD drive off the motherboard. Ooh, the Crow Father. I love this song out of Darksiders 2. I think I'm gonna run Darksiders 2. Darksiders on my next stuff after Ghosts of Tsushima. Just run through all the games that are out. That'll be good. Alright. Let's pause this. I already did. Okay. So, Obduction. This is our first time playthrough, so please do not give me spoilers. Ah, they built for a controller as well. Okay. Oh, hold on. I should put on yon compression gloves so I'm not straining the wrists too much. It has been one hell of a turnaround on my wrists by just using compression gloves while dealing with games, and then at night sleeping with wrist braces, wrist splints.
We all lost everything. Everything but our stories. And they shouldn't be forgotten. I was 3. It was April of 1983. Cecil, it was 1870 for you. Sam and Vera, you tell it like it was yesterday, but it's been 62 years since you saw that blast of light.
What's that? Blast of light.
Light. That's where all of our new stories began. It streaked across the sky, mesmerizing, but unnerving. Even in daylight, Joseph, you said, was gloriously bright. But in the twilight, it was spellbinding. None of us understood. But, well, we followed. And we all felt some kind of trepidation yet attraction as we approached it and
Now I can't move.
punched across. You all remember, there was no turning away. It advanced, almost like purposefully, spinning slowly until, well,
A seed?
found us, each of
Yep,
us.
pops up. I'm like, what?
We should tell these stories because it saved us and it lost me.
Abduction sounds a lot like abduction. You know, the aliens came down and walked off with me kind of thing. Neat transition effects, though. Oop. Oh, it is meant to look plant-like. Okay. Okay. Ooh, that's gorgeous. Did I just get transplanted into a... Alright. Not gonna think about the potential intersection of teleportation. I survived. No, I didn't get telefragged. That's important. And we'll just go from there. Let's see. Do 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 do. Huh. Like a canyon? Quite dry enough for that. It's like a weird mix of plant life. Welcome to Hunrath. Okay. Push the button.
Hello, bonjour, ciao, hola, hello, shora, ni hao. Welcome to Hunrat. My name is Joseph. I am the mayor here. You are most probably a bit confused and disoriented. But let me reassure you, everything will be fine.
Everything is
You're
not fine.
not the first to go through this experience. The others who have come before you will help you adjust. Follow the trail to the house with the white picket fence. Fali will meet you there and introduce you to your new life here.
I don't think everything's fine. I think it's everything is wrong. First thing just like everything is fine. Really? This looks like a segment of world Earth dropped on an alien world. Is that a barrier of some kind? Someone's house was just picked up and dropped here. What does this say? To Caroline, or whoever else might come back. It has been 5 days and not a soul has returned. I'm inclined to believe that things have not gone well. Shock. Wonder what gave it away. Yet, surprisingly, I am still alive, and that both supremely perplexes me and also gives me some portion of hope. I have retreated to my vault for protection and to contemplate my options. CW. You got mail. Farley's Community Center? Okay. Push the button.
you're seeing this, then I wasn't able. Just in case. Welcome. But it's probably not safe here. To be blunt, we're getting ready for a battle. I don't know what you'll find. I just thought I should. Just be cautious. With who you trust. CW may be here. I don't know. Just be careful. I've got to go. See you soon. And don't panic. As jarring as this experience is, you really will find Hunter to be a decent place.
I don't have my towel. I don't suppose you have one here that I could run off with, do you? God damn it. I should have brought a towel. Oh, let's board it up. Warning, do not approach anything that even remotely resembles this diagram unless it's been disabled. Okay. Siding's peeling off. It's been here for a while. Teleportation incident. Just drop straight into the ground. Fun. Right, so I can't get to him, to CW, to see if the vault's still good. Hopscotch. Oh. Well. Okay. So I can't jump, but I can take pictures. Excellent. Well, let's see if there's something this way. It sounds like a walkway on top. Is that like a guardian wall or something? Regular walk so slow in this. I see. See. Well, that's not a great sign. Oh. That is what I guess I was expecting when you got such a disparate mine shaft. What was a mine shaft? But okay, so it's a bubble. Or is it? There's doing something connected to it. Laser. Okay, well this got collapsed. Is that a projection? Okay. Shows reality that thinks isn't here. So it's all a projection of some kind. That has a backpack. Okay. I'll be polite. I wasn't raised in a barn. Okay, there you go. Cricket. Okay. So, more modern house, siding. Oh, western mining town, looks like. Potatoes. Not very welcome. Backgammon? I don't know why I recognize it, but haven't played.
We have a healthy, thriving community here, as you can see. Our garden was planted years ago and has supplied plenty of food for many generations. The buildings around town serve multiple purposes, including housing, schooling, and storage. I'm sure you have run across a number of folks already. Many were brought here, like you, and some actually were born here. We all feel we are part of the whole.
Another warning sign. Let's see, where does this go? Well, that's particularly curved and straight. Looks like that must have been one of the teleport things. Like the rock just got picked up and curved. Yeah, it did. Got cards here. Can be a little hard to figure out, like what. Oh, someone's got photographs. Seems to be a little hard to kind of figure out what I can poke at and push at. Okay. Yep. Just curved. Just chunked out. Snail. Okay. You go straight over to, yep. Okay. Water pump for the garden? Well, your garden's dead. It's not feeding anybody now. I suspect. Wait, what? There's no... Yeah, it's all auto-saved, like checkpointing. just think I want to go to that door yet. I want to see what's out here. Okay, no power. Right. Cart. So let's take a... Maybe look at this then. Must be CW. Do this. Whoop. Turn that up a bit. Because game seems to be running quiet. Alright, so we gotta get the power going. Well, I figured that might have been the case. Okay, let's see. Okay, so that allows this to work. Where am I going? Alright, try there. Okay. So... Okay, I don't know if that was good or bad. Boink. But I think I turned off my elevator. Okay. Locked. Okay. Alright, so maybe that one. It's not the thing to do right now. Maybe it was. Still able to go up. Okay. Yep. That particular path. Sorry to get the generator. Get the generator. I'm not gonna get up there. To get up there, I gotta get up there. Rails. So the witch doesn't go that way anymore. It goes a different direction. This. Okay. Okay. Closed. Okay. The tree.
This is the tree. It has been here in Hunrat for as long as anyone can remember. Its health is intimately tied to everything in our little greenhouse. Our cell we live in, our ecosystem. It has provided many surprises over the years, including some interesting seeds that you will learn more about. Many have postulated, yet we really know very little about its origins. But we do know it should be cherished and protected.
Okay. Get up here. Touch the live wire. Go on. Okay. Now you'll be able to get up. How do I get up? And I can't get in because the door's closed. So how do I get in? I'm seeing a pathway here. Right, so that itself is a dead end. That doesn't quite go anywhere. So that's up there. Right? There's a bridge going from there to the water source line to water the tree. That comes from over there. I'm able to get over there. I've got wire running. Okay. Wire running that way. Running. What is this? Can I push it aside? No. All that? Nope. You will not let me walk off the... you guys are terrible. Come on. Let me plummet. Fall to my doom. Won't even let me do the old... What does this lever do? Or I wonder what this button does. Can't go up. So how did somebody go? Okay, I've got it's all right. Shouldn't really figure this out. I probably got to go and figure out the rest of this place. Let's see.
our ecosystem here is our supply of water. It is supplied as a natural process of the system itself, and we don't really understand how. Although the entire system is very closely tied together. The fact that one of the most important necessities of life has been provided to us has led many to believe that this place has a purpose. Others attribute a complex natural process which we one day hope to understand. Either way, we are glad to have all the water we need.
Let's go to here. Can't get that open. Can't. Can't do anything with it. It's like modern concrete, reinforced concrete now. That's with all this. Okay.
Perhaps I weren't as clear as I needed to be. You get that Carvin power turned on while I work on my part here. I ain't got
Just checking to see if he had anything. Because I have cut off my access to the top. Oh, this better not be one of those ones where if you do it in the wrong order, you lock yourself out. I wonder what that beam does. Disintegrates you. Alright, let's take a quick look here. Okay. Can't call it down. No, I can't call it down, can I? Let's do it from up there. But in order for me to get... Right, let's run backwards a bit. It's in order. Okay, I see. I need that laser thing in order to be able to hit the rocks in order to tunnel. In order to be able to turn on the... There's probably that giant mass generator there. I gotta figure out how I do that. That was just carved out. There's nothing here beyond something that they were trying to dig out. flew right through it. Hmm. What I'll need to find is over this way. Not contained. Is there a load option? Let's see what we got. Load. Nope. Ah, autosave on everything. Fun. Okay. So I can't walk through that. Hmm. Let's see. Huh. So to get up there. Hmm. Better make sure there's anything as silly as having a ladder. Because why would puzzle games want to have ladders? What is this? Like this? I'm able to walk on top of the roof. This is a red herring. Maybe a blue one. Saying it's not looking in the wrong direction. Okay. So I was, yes, kind of missing something, kind of. Not camping. What the? Okay. It's in the compass. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's see. Garage, Farley, tunnels, scrap, tower, town, CW. What the frick is this? Sphere. Oh. What this button does. I've got this. So, rail yard? I think it's a rail yard. I suppose. Caution, fuel drain empty. Okay. Perfect damn circle. Okay, I can hear the hum on that thing. All right. This is the outer. Okay, some kind of code lock. Not going to work without power. Big place. Oh. circled back around. Motor oil. So if I need to fuel the generator, I gotta find fuel pump. Took a chunk out of this. Spokeway. So let's see, did that provide fuel? There we go. Oh. Never mind that. Drained it right back up. Which, given where that's aiming. Here's hoping there's enough to last. Alright, so this time, don't. Are you gonna take a full vial for it? Catch. There we go. Fuel. All right. So that's working. Elvis already gone. It's going to town. Ramp in the garage. Lights are on there. Okay, let's see. Okay. National Gas Company. Huh. Right, so that's no idea what that does. Shortcut. Right. Power is on. Down, I think. Oh, there we go. Rag disabler and villain technology. Note from Aproar. 1. Designed to disable anything based on orang technology. 2. Disables when blue beam/cloud is within about 1.5 feet of any morang device element. 3. Elements physically collapse reasonably as possible but not trivial. 4. Aproar assures me that it's not harmful, still not pointing it at my head. 5. Ruko has not been told that the villains provided it. Lockdown list. Lockdown tree gate, Farley's house, lower tower, upper tower. Lift mic into workroom, turn on rank disabler, shut pack garage door, pump water from tree roots, turn on image rocks. Close voltage, divert, revert, turn off power, activate dome disabler. CW, please change Farley's lock code and secure the vault. Your address backwards should suffice. Address backwards, okay. Here's imager request entry canyon. Okay. I didn't see anyone with a scrapyard, but maybe I walked past it. Is defined at first swap. Tree help from 6 open truck is prep behavior. Journal. Oh, reg solid volume projector. This is fast. It's control arms. Action levels. Edge balance. Anyway, odd side effects. Projector intersecting impulse suppresses all transport. Huh. Alright. Okay. That's supposed to go somewhere. Probably shouldn't play with that too much. Okay. Should go. Alright, I've got the power humming. Should probably go and talk with him.
Well, power's on. Did you come back for a medal? Sorry, I don't mean to neglect my manners. My name is Cecil. Most around here call me CW. At least they did. I suppose you gotta move on. But, alright, well, if you ain't assessed already, we're all living within a large cell. It's a dome, wall, carved from prison, more like it. Whatever it is, hems us in. They ain't occurred to you already. It serves us both for you to get through the wall of this place. I locked up the wall with that MOFAG device. That red beam up yonder. Gotta make this work and get home. Scarlet. Scarlet was 7. Lord, I wonder. That red beam.
Okay, so the red beam's gotta get turned off? No. Alright, I'm still alive. I haven't been disintegrated. That's cool. Ooh.
move around just a bit.
This is a rough one.
Why are you so nervous? This is just a test.
Okay, now what? Okay, that's enough.
Caroline, I swear you are a natural.
Where did you get these anyway? Are the multis just giving you stuff now?
I'm being generous of late. Not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth.
Well, I suppose I should go water the tree. Let's go like this. All right. Some kind of power connection. Okay, I'm not dead. Yay! Where's it go? Goes over here. Okay. Is there anything there I can use? Just gonna take a quick look. I wasn't gonna get to anything there. That just leads to that. We're gonna cross it over. That's a dead end. But I do want to get down there. Let's actually go that way. This time I would need to go that. So we'll hit that side first. Hold on. That's gonna have me going backwards. Now I'm ready to get turned around. What do you think? You're gonna get turned around. So I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna get that eliminated. Do that one first. So, I can't do that one first. Not yet, anyway. Thing is, I came out of this thing backwards. Okay, cool. That's dead, so that doesn't work. Let's do this. This way. Go this way. Okay, let's do this real quick. That way, so I might actually be able to hit it with a beam. Yeah, I could. That goes to a dead end because of where the rail runs. Projector. In we go. Hmm. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out. Damn. Wow, okay. Surely I'm not that hefty to need that much space to get it in. What is this? picture might be important. I'm trying to understand what it is. Hmm. The hell? Oh, it's bar. You had grenadine? Okay, you had the equivalent. Of course. Even cast away with other people, man will still invent the drink. The distillery. I need to go that way anyways, so let's go that way. In reverse. And now, here we go. Okay. So not getting anywhere. Well, the dome is up and running, of course. Suckers. Marley's house number in reverse. Quick. So 6341. So with the lights on, let me check on something in here. Okay, some of the lights are on. Happening to be able to get access. Should be good. Secretary. Yeah. Okay, so I may not be able to do anything about it right now. Let's take a look at some of these other things we've got. Trees being watered. So I guess I take my laser. Laser. The laser. Ding dong.
this thing for me. It's not the best time to be explaining this stuff. Now, where's the jizzy?
So we need to go back up. Okay, we gotta plug it in. What am I plugging it into? Doesn't go into anything. Huh. Okay. Just do that. I guess when something plugs into it, it'll work. Let's get run over by that one, don't I? Beep beep squish. I get access to that again. Okay. Means I gotta make that turn. I don't think this is unlocked. I think this is unlocked from other side. Yep. Suppose I better check on the fuel. Okay. Now let me recall. It was like how do I review my photos? Oh, 6341, not 46431. Hmm. Vault. That's important to have. Okay. CW shop, the battery. Water source, falls. Okay. Wall, tower, tree. Cemetery, entry canyon. Plateau, scrapyard, spice, fuel. Bleeder. Lake. There. I shall document the curious events that have transpired with myself, my family, friends, and co-workers. Hartnell was a peaceful mining town founded by my grandfather and nestled within the red rock of the desert in the Arizona territory. Ooh, that's a while back. Its 163 inhabitants heard a mighty explosion on the night of June 27th, 1903. I sent several workers through the town to verify the explosion had caused any injuries or damage to mining equipment. They returned and reported that it must have been a loud clap of thunder caused by dry lightning, for they found no damage. It was not until the light of the next morning that we were amazed to realize something profound had indeed occurred. At some point during that night, our entire mining facility and a large circle of the land around it seemed to have been scooped up and carried off to a completely different place, all without anyone knowing about it. The entire landscape outside of our circle of desert could only be described as alien large floating rocks could be seen in the distance, and no one had ever seen anything like it anywhere on Earth. We fully explored our new surroundings, hoping to find a way home. No way home was ever found. In fact, we soon discovered what we take for granted now. Not only could we not get back home, we also could not access the landscape outside the desert. Curiously, we discovered that a flow of water was provided from a high point of rock, and we discovered a small tree growing on the very center of the circle. Our central tree that is so important to our lives here was just a mere sapling back then. Species Mofang. Through ambassador seeds, the Mofang were the first non-human species humans were introduced to. An Liang was the first to call the alien a Mofang, impressed with their advanced ability to imitate our sounds, movements, and mannerisms. While they have a name for themselves, their language is mostly unpronounceable by humans. As a result, and because of their mimicry abilities, communication with Mofang is primarily accomplished by their learning human languages rather than humans learning to speak Mofang. They have been able to learn almost every human language represented in Hunrath, enough to provide functional, if rudimentary, communication. The Mofang basic external morphology is remarkably humanoid: bilateral symmetrical tetrapods, bipedal head with interior facial features, mouth, eyes, nostrils. Other external features include minimal body hair and raised dorsal protrusions. Constitution is somewhat frail, due apparently to their thin and lightweight internal structure, but internal investigation has not been possible. They have ample cranial space to account for substantial brain, and their intelligence is impressive as evidenced by their advanced technology. Definitely influenced by classic alien. Alright. After certain level of maturity and health of the tree, a passage opened at its base. This passage allowed contact with two additional species. The first contact was with the Arai. The first contact revealed the Arai to be large beetle-like insects. We were unable to communicate directly with them in any way, but they appeared to have had some rudimentary level of intelligence. It was Laureen Toth who first made the... Toth? Was it Laureen? I'm not quite sure what those markers indicate for pronunciation. But they were the ones who first made the journey through the heart to capture and aid both the New World and the inhabitants. The Arai have three distinct variants that have come to be referred to as barnacle, beetle, and polyarch. While their morphology is dramatically different from human, their internal systems, like all their neighbors, are supported by similar atmospheric composition and basic nutrients. In their barnacle stage, the Arai are completely immobile. Barnacle stage. Okay, so the Arai stay in this egg-like development state seemingly indefinitely. In order to hatch, they must be in proximity of a polyarch and fertilized by the beetle after a certain stage of maturity. The beetles are the eyes, ears, hands, and feet. With only a minimal nervous system of their own, they are essentially the sensory extensions of the immobile polyarchs. They are able to execute simple commands, but apparently have very little in the way of individual sentience. looks familiar. I could have sworn I saw one of them flying around. The Ori polyarchs are the intelligence and consciousness of the species. Although it was obvious that there was intelligence behind the species, it wasn't until Caroline Farley began spending large amounts of time in close proximity that deeper communication began. With a room nearby, Farley was the first to communicate non-verbally and learn much about the species, including some historical information. The Ori species survived in their world while several other sentient species came and went. Among them, an ancient species who formed a deeper relationship with the Ori, carving temples and dwellings for them in the rocks. And later, a more recent species that took over much of their homeworld. This latter species was especially adept at mechanical construction, using it mostly to capture and process large flying creatures, using the beetles as bait. Villain? The final species to be discovered were the Villain. The Villain had been communicating with the Ori for many years through ambassador seeds, but became part of the larger community very shortly after the Ori. With a large and imposing frame and a form of communication based on complex multi-voice low-frequency rumble, the initial introductions were intimidating. After several attempts, that's an Emily? I'm still not sure how to pronounce that pronunciation marker. But Emily Vidal was able to begin some rudimentary communications and began visiting the Villain and Marais, which she named, on a regular basis. She discovered a complex and amazing society and was able to use her technology in unexpected ways. They had the ability to quickly transform the world using extruded structures based on some form of complex miniature substrate material. Unlike the other worlds, the Villain sphere scooped out of a Villain resettlement group that was preparing to set off into space to find a new homeworld. This was their way of life, to put themselves into stasis and scatter themselves through the stars. As mentioned previously, their appearance is imposing, standing about 9 feet tall with a distinct reptilian resemblance. They have 6 limbs, 2 muscular legs and arms, and a smaller set of arms. They control every aspect of their technology with their vocalizations, but over the years they have created control panels based on their number system that allows other species to easier access elements of their technology. Okay, let's put it down now. Yeah. Also, if there's anything on the flip side of this, is there? Okay. Communication, talking with our neighbors. We take communication for granted, even with the varied languages we find here in Hunra. But when we suddenly find ourselves among other intelligent species who don't share our culture, history, DNA, or even vocal cords, it requires a huge amount of effort for the beginning of rudimentary chatting. This quick overview will set the stage for what to expect when communicating with our neighbors. Mofang. The Mofang were the first non-humans we met, with at least some level of similar physical vocal generating abilities. They picked up human words quickly. This early mimicry resulted in what the species became to be called. Even though they were able to mimic simple words and simple phrases, it became evident over the years that huge grammatical differences were not easily overcome. Some have proposed that the difficulty may have arisen because the Mofang insisted on attempting to learn every human language, and as a result were never able to lock onto any consistent grammatical structure. That must have been a pain in the ass. It's like I tell you right now, English versus French versus Latin versus Chinese. Nevertheless, in spite of the rudimentary sentence construction, it has been very easy to communicate. It has been unnecessary for us to learn their language beyond a very few simple phrases and proper names. If you'd like to learn more about communication with the Mofang, please contact Tam. Villain. The Villain have presented a particular communication challenge. From what we can gather, they produce sound using 2 large reed-like structures inside opposite sides of their heads. The vibrations generated are channeled to resonance chambers in their skulls, where they are combined into a complex low-frequency dual tone. The low-frequency bitonal sounds are not only hard for humans to hear and resolve, but impossible for us to mimic. And the Valane's hearing is also oriented towards low frequency, so they're unable to hear most of the sounds associated with human speech. Therefore, communication with the Valane has relied on technology. They have adapted consoles, which the Valane fluently control with vocalization, for use by other species. Over the years, some individuals of other species, including a few humans, have learned to communicate very effectively using this method. Humans have been able to pick out some higher frequency characteristics of certain key Valane words over the years, and although we can't speak to them in a way that the Valane can understand, we are occasionally able to hear and recognize these words when spoken distinctly by the Valane. If you'd like to learn more about communication with the Valane, please contact Vito. Awry. None of the stages of the Orion morphology have any vocalization apparatus, because of the obvious synchronization of the barnacle flash and the ability of the pawns to provide for and address the needs of the polyarchs. It was assumed that the species could communicate effectively. It was not until Farley began to spend large amounts of time in the polyarch antechamber that the first clues to this communication became evident. After months of research, Farley began to have limited success with receiving some kind of simple messages that were coming from the polyarchs. It is apparent now that the polyarchs had been attempting to communicate the entire time, but they themselves had been experimenting with various channels until they finally got a response from Farley. After this breakthrough, others are able to tune in to the polyarchs and learn to listen. Both the polyarchs and the pawns have a simple organ that can sense vocal human frequency, enabling them to sense simple responses from humans. But over the years, Farley was able to learn to speak to the polyarchs via a related form of extrasensory transmission. If you'd like to learn more about communication with the Ori, please contact Farley. Farley, one more journal? Let's see. Seed information? Oh, there's a ton of stuff written here. Because that was a seed run into at the beginning of the game. Alright, so we got a couple of pages. Let's run with this. Ambassador seeds were first documented about 150 Earth years ago. They occur about once every 400 days if the trees remain healthy. Natural seed swaps occur between pairs of seeds that we now know drop simultaneously from healthy trees in paired sphere. When each seed was touched by species in sphere, the swap occurred, sending an ambassador, quote, from each sphere to the paired sphere. Ooh, quantum linkage. Okay. Location of the swap is defined by the location of the pair of seeds. After the first swap, the seeds recharge quickly, allowing for a quick return. First meetings were intense, but naturally short. It was quite a surprise for both the Mofang and us. Over time, the seeds required more time to recharge, producing longer visits between species. Collector seeds. Everyone who arrives is familiar with the collector seeds. The bright light that we were all drawn to right before the event that brought us here is a collector seed. What new arrivers may not be aware of is that these seeds, like all seeds, come in pairs. When the tree drops a collector seed on the ground, it signals that its twin has begun its quest for a new being. That search may take hours, or it may take years. When an appropriate situation, unnatural threat of death, maybe, is found, the seed activates and swaps a smaller but varied size seed sphere from Earth, or whatever appropriate homeworld, here to Hunrath. As Hunrath became more populated, we could watch for a newly dropped collector seed, collect it, and place it in the entry canyon area. This allowed us to provide a more predictable entry experience for new arrivals, so that would explain the canyon that we start out in the game, and provide a single area to collect any resources that may have come along with the new arriver. Unlike ambassador seeds and mother seeds, collector seeds do not seem to survive. The inner core is spent, leaving only the lifeless outer husk. Now, mother seeds, postulated but unverified, first suggested by Alima Hamza, 2232BH. I'm not quite sure what that notation is. The notation of mother seed extrapolates the behavior of the lesser seeds to a super seed. She posited that this process that actually created the paired spheres was actually was similar to other swaps, but on a much grander scale. The idea is that two seeds from a mother tree, maybe, were scattered on the galactic winds to find appropriately similar environments. When matches were found, some process was triggered that swapped large portions of landscape between vastly different worlds. Aliumab further noted that the tree's location in the center of these spheres suggested that the tree grew from these mother seeds. Because of the similarities, it has been conjectured that reswapping the entire environmental spheres might be possible with a large-scale version of the ambassador seed machine. And that is certainly a fascinating read. Ooh, wonder what this does. What am I looking at? Oh, okay, hold on. That might be it. Something there. Not entirely sure. Let's see. Oop. Another frickin' drill. Ah. Your name, where you came from, circumstance. Annotated and filed AH after 2017. Someone came from Madagascar. 1942 out of Lobeck, Germany. Calico, 1988. Mexico, Bat Storm, okay. 2042? Okay, we have a very different timeline here. Yes, an old tape player.
We all lost everything. Everything but our stories. And they shouldn't be forgotten. I was 3. It was April of 1983. Cecil, it was 1870.
Okay, so that's something at the beginning of the game. Somebody stuffed animal. What? They mentioned going to fight. So get that. Let's get that dealt with, so we have at least that unlocked. Now I need to get access. Where is... Okay. There was a device that was mentioned about swapping spaces. So let's maybe take a look at that. I gotta look around a bit, because now I need to get access to the tree. Get access to that. No, that's still there. So let's see. Right. I need to take another look around. Kind of, I mentioned a bleed off, but I wonder what that means. I'm also kind of curious as if the fuel meter on this goes down. No, it didn't. Okay. I just turned on the pump is what I did. Do I get access to that stuff? It's mentioning that the garage, the ramp are not powered. And the town beyond that there isn't. I'm actually kind of curious what the hell this thing does. What if I just need to orient it towards the sun? Come on, that's... Does that do anything? Curious. Not quite. Yep, it's a puzzle game. Definitely in the realm of, I wonder what this button does. Are these like the ambassador seed things we're talking about? And I didn't seem to do anything. I'm just gonna shrug my shoulders and go, maybe I'll come back to that later. Getting access to the tree. I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna do that. Like, can't hit the curve on that, right? Now I gotta get this sucker turned around somehow. Do that. Really? Fine. much of an annoyance. I wanted it plugged in, but there's nothing to plug it into. Okay. Juggling multiple things that they've been asked to deal with. So let me think. Tree's been set to water. That's good. Be able to get down below. Okay, so maybe I need to come in from the other side. Maybe this... That's right about where the scrapyard train is. I'm sorry, what was that noise? That was bizarre. Alright, so back to the rail yard segment. Scrapyard, as they called it. Let's take a look around. That's locked. Question is, I don't know how to... Tower, sphere... Garage, ramp, tunnel, scrap... So the garage isn't powered. Really? Huh. Old rotary phone style, but... I don't have a number to dial yet, so... I don't even know if it'll function. It's not hooked up to anything. So... some kind of way there? So how do I get up to there? Because the other side is locked by... I must be walking past... Okay, so there's a way... So there's that segment. That segment crosses from there. Segment crosses from there. I'm sorry, what? Did I just get pulled? I'll be damned. Yes, I got pulled to the other side. That is amazing. I would not have thought they would have put that in, done that. push it? No? Okay, I can't be impish and do that. Let's see. There's the secret. They're talking like, oh, advanced technology. Guys, did anyone stop to think about this bullshit? What if I don't want to? Okay, good. Oh, so maybe that's what that looks like, a scrapyard to me. Shoot, is it this? Blurb. I don't have the code for it. So I have to find it somewhere. Well, let me check my photos. I mean, that looks like a 15 to me, but then a drawing of some kind. Yep, scrapyard, rail yard, tower, furnace, wall. I'm not entirely sure. Dang it. All right. Let's see. Knowing that these are a circular space. God damn it, flashbang! I'd love to just put that down. That'd be great. Just drop the stairwell. Alright, now where would this put me? There was a segment down here, though. Right down here. Where does this go? Let's see. Stop flashbanging me. Okay, puts me over here. Where does this give me access to? Scrapyard. There's the tower. The sphere. Okay, it must be one of those ambassador spheres as well. Okay. So we are not connected yet here. So how would I... Oh, no, John likes buzzing, I guess. I'm trying to wander around to get code somewhere. Don't know where I'm going, but I'm going somewhere. Where? Okay, seg. Okay, so it's not powered. Ah, now it is. No idea what that does. Alright, so this is... This was the arrive, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. That must be the barnacle phase. Penal phase. That makes... Now, what do the polyarcs look like? There's the temples that were carved for them. When I first saw them, I thought they were wearing like little backpacks or something like that. Chains into the distance. Damn. That's really cool. Makes me wonder what the hell happened. I think I've gotten ahead of myself, actually. It's not like I can just reload the game because it autosaves. Like every step of the way. So I don't know if I'm here early. I don't know if I'm here too late. Damn. I think I just took a wrong turn. Oh, okay. I did take a wrong turn. Yay. I have no idea where I'm going. Yay. Let me find the way back. Damn it, I just want to find a code. It's pretty to get lost in, though. Did I even... Ah, there we go. It's the wrong step. Okay. So now to figure out where my next place is. So I've got a 3-digit code I gotta find from somewhere. Flashbang. Actually, I wonder how far I can go with this. Okay. Perfectly mirrored. Huh. That's still a neat traversal thing, though. Very, very cool. That tells me that some of my other points. How does she have frogs? In this climate? Where does this go? To the scrapyard, okay. Oh. So how do I... Wow, guys, how do I get in? Oh, wait, maybe... Hold on. Let's see what this leads me. Back there. Where does this put me? Right up against it. However, this space goes where? Right inside. There we go. Let me see. I could get it turned around. Let's see. Okay, so you're not powered. Improvised elevators. That was the most generic sounding steps on metal that I've heard like everywhere. Not saying it's bad, we're saying it gets used so frequently. No power. I actually wonder if I can dial that number. What's this do? See, worksheet, multi-purpose villain control panel interface. The control panel of the vein specify for a use, so they're able to control their system of vocalization. They have provided these control panels for other species that have limited access to control. If you have help, please find Noah. If you have trouble, please find Noah help. Remember, the Villain number system is base 4. Drag from one blob to another for the Villain digits. Drag between blobs to disconnect. Standard panel has 5 digits, but single-digit panels are also used. Use only first panel to simulate a 1-digit panel, 0 through 3. All panels will autocorrect for invalid entries. So then, that photo I took of this Farley Tower Junkyard. .406. Ah. Okay, so that was one. Clear that. Two. Oh, let's start looking at that. This. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. Do that. That connection there. Clear this. That's 5. Compare that against this. That doesn't look up at all for that. Now, do we need... Power in this segment? Quite yet. Let's see, I need to get back up to... Do I need power right now? I don't think I need the power right now for that, so let's keep this so I have the power up top. Let me reach out and grab the cart, because I gotta get it turned around. this point. I have to drive in reverse. Okay. See if this will do what I want it to do. Okay. Let's see. Yes, I know. I am doing a full circle. I should double check. Is there any reason to? Laser beam anything? You know what? I don't want to go that way. Okay. Tee-hee. Wonder what this button does. Oh, it doesn't do anything. Okay. Oh. Power cable going down is. So I'm gonna get to. Okay. Now that I'm turned around. Something light from over there. That's interesting. And that. Should that turn me around? Next. Switch over. Where? Where? There we go. Yay! Displays a beam. Forward, my trusty minecart. Oh, it comes to an end. Okay. I wonder if it... Gee! What? Someone found a frickin' old Soviet, uranium mine or some other bullshit? Oh. Oh my. Oh. Russian nuclear sub. Oh god, you salvaged from a nuclear sub. Hydraulic lifts, holy shit. Retro encabulator? Russian. Notation. 22 torpedo warhead explosives? "12 cases. It was a broca." Those weren't torpedo bays. Okay, what did this just accomplish? Okay. I have no idea what opening that door did for me. Sorry, what? God damn it, entire segment of a nuclear sub. Jeez. I just don't know how the... What is this? What do I do with this segment here? What does unlocking this do for me? Yeah, sure, let's just run off with the frickin' cruise missile warhead. That's great, thanks. Yep. Just what I need. Okay, that's what these cables look like. Okie dokie. That's what you do. Okay. What now? I think. need to get up. Back up there. I got the code for it. That was led to the to the bar source. Right. Where does this go? I'm not there yet. Ooh. Up here. Oh. Literally the other piece of where I was. Arrow. Okay. Right. Let's go down this segment. Then you get to the other side of there. Because I need to access the other half of this. So I gotta get up top there because I think I've got the code. Oh, it says me. Thank you. Oh. Dun, dun. Good. And then down here, which I think is where I was. Nope. Down here, that's where it was. It's like getting a flashbang every single damn time. Yeah. I think it was 406. Don't get that. Push you open. Bit more light reading. Let's see. Mr. Mayor, at your behest, here is the information pertaining to the Bleeder, its history, and some of the engineering behind it. The Bleeder project was designed and built at the request of Mayor Sims to collect and dissipate the ever-increasing power in the entire ecosystem. Mayor Sims was reluctant to allow the system to come to fruition as he and others had become suspicious of Mayor Farley's death. He believed that without knowing more precisely what would happen to the cell wall at fruition, it was ill-advised to allow it to possibly open, thus allowing what might be outside in and what might be inside out. The system has the capacity to throttle all four contained worlds. The idea, as you are well aware, is to suppress the ecosystem power and thus inhabit full maturity of the trees. It was postulated, and since became apparent, that this suppression will keep whatever unknown maturity process from happening and grant us direct control over tree fruition. Ooh. Alright. Put it down, let's see what the other one is. The rate of dissipation is sensed and regulated automatically. Power is collected through villain-engineered extruded cables that attach directly to the dome membrane. When the maximum power level is exceeded, the dissipation phase is triggered, creating an electrical charge, followed by the discharge into the water. Through electrolysis, an amount of hydrogen and oxygen is generated. We capture some of these elements for our own use, but the greater majority is released into our atmosphere. This gassing might be a cause for concern were it not for the ecosystem's ability to filter and maintain our atmosphere at near ideal levels. Excess hydrogen, oxygen content, and pressure generated by the process is rebalanced quickly by the membrane. And as you know, we discourage swimming when the bleeder is operational. Regards, CW. Oh, it's a campaign room. What's the password? BH8. What's the... Oh, Carl Hunrath. Are they counting by... Those can't be years. Days? Those would have to be days. Mayor's office. Ooh, fancy. Huh. Texas. Compass is broken in this one. Hmm. 17125 AH Special Council Session 2 or 11. Nope, probably a Special Council 11 since they're how they're writing out numbers. Discuss final approval of Farley's plan with regard to the imminent attack. The full council vote was unanimous, and I gave my final approval. Preparations update. Farley says that tunneling is almost complete. Dam informs us that the villains have just completed their construction and have started testing. 17126 AH Special Council Session 12. No one attended. I will inquire as to the reason for their absence. 17127. It appears that the council members feel we're having too many meetings. Since the plan has been approved, perhaps we can reduce our meetings to every 2 days from now. Okay, yes. And that means that their counting system is daily. Dear Lord. While I was asking Cecil about his absence, I also thought about securing the tower area. And then 128, Special Council Session 13. Cecil will provide a new key code for the lower lock in the next few days. He was concerned about any survivors not having access. So it was decided that we would conceal the code in Farley's house and give residents the location as they were being chambered. I also had him change the upper tower access code. He included that code has been placed under the direction of our first mayor. Upper tower access. Okay. I've decided to bring some of the more important mayor's logs with me for chambering, specifically the initial Hunrath log and then the logs that would document their history of our conflict with the Mofang. I would think we would have an extra chamber available for historical documents. Special Council Chamber 14. Council Chamber, yes. Special Council Session 14. Only Tam attended. He informed me that because of the dire circumstances, the others were either extremely busy or not inclined to have long discussion about the situation. I told him I would suspend the regular council sessions and we would simply meet as the need arose. Paid a visit to Farley today. Asked her to check on the availability of a chamber for the documents. And then 4 days later, spent the last few days collecting documents. I would divide them into two categories, chambered and vaulted. The vaulted are less important, but obviously worth making an effort to save. They can move into Farley's vault area. The vaulted category also including books that we've managed to collect through the years. And then, with less than a week remaining before chambering begins, the population is tense. You've had several town hall meetings to try and answer any questions, but the realities of the current situation make it difficult to assuage fears. Next day, Farley has informed me that there's one final confirmation from Shavar. If Farley doesn't hear from her by the end of 3 days later, so 17-141, then there is no turning back. There is an odd justice that Farley's plan in that whatever the Mofang bastards send to kill us will be returned back to them. 17-140, Council Session 15. A special meeting was called to go over the plans for the final time. Farley had several instruction sheets to distribute, the Mofang weapon illustration, a list of all souls that will be used as all souls? That doesn't seem right? That will be used as a basis for the chambering manifest and a thorough summary of the battle plans. The will be distributed as necessary. No word from Shavar. And 17-141. Farley tells me that there will be at least one chamber available for historic documents. Any other extra chambers will be loaded with emergency provisions and medications in case either Hunrath or Murray are completely destroyed. No word from Shavar. Then 42, no word from Shafar. Death is on our doorstep. Curse the Mofang devils to hell. 43, I'm leaving to be chambered. This gem will remain here to inform any future souls of what our last days were like. What do they mean by chambered? Is it like what CH? Okay, that was creepy. CH was? Is that chambered? Is that vaulted? Under the direction of our first mayor, Luther Roscoe. He's buried. Okay. Perhaps the grave. No power. Why? Did I not? Did I turn the power off on it? Wait, I want to get that up there drop down. Dang it. Okay, let me go back up. I'm running. This was the... this button. So many flashbangs. Almost got all the shortcuts done. This work? Yay. Go. Okay. Oh, right. Gotta change the electrical. Get it quick. Give that one a yank. Let me also check something here. Okay. Okay. I mentioned under the direction of the upper tower, under the direction of the first mayor, who is he's buried out here, I think. Could have sworn I saw his name. That is our first mayor, isn't it? I wonder if maybe it's 503. No. Let's grab some pictures, John. Huh. Not what I was expecting. Okay. Oh, I've got power. Sit back. So yeah, that's what that does. Then, That sounds like an ending choice. leader tower. Do you live? No. Well, that's kind of annoying. Why? Damn it, how am I supposed to get down there? Alright, so the tower is not being powered. Why? Right, but that's tower is being powered. Huh. Hmm. It's like a rail car is what it is. It is a rail car. Hmm. Texas. What does Texas have to do with? Wait. A Texas license plate? Okay. So now I'm still trying to figure out access to the... Hmm. So how do I get into the lower segment if the elevator to it doesn't work? Hmm. Hmm. Let me hit the switch on that and see. what this goes to. Huh. It goes to downtown. Yeah, studio, towers, rear caves. Thing. TV, so okay. So all the scrap. All the scrap. Let's take a quick look. Oh. So activates everything? Okay. Now there was a number to dial. Let's see. I'm actually kind of curious if it actually works. I recall it was a 1555 fourth. I feel like I should write this down somewhere so I can actually stop having to consult it. Let's see. 1555. Then a 435 7968. Trying to find out if this phone still works. Oh, it is off the hook. Giggles. And a... Okay, then a 4, 3, 5, 7, 9, 6, 8. Operator, I think your phone does at my dime. All right. Doesn't do anything. This. Okay, guess not. That's... Clearly, I am missing something here. A piece of the puzzle, if you will. But getting down there requires getting access to down there. Isn't this lovely? Access to down there ain't happening. That. Great. now is probably a good time to stop for the night. Where's my last? Right there. Eh. Do, 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 do. Okay. That was interesting. Hmm. Definitely got to continue that one. Okay. So let's try it a bit. So, as usual, if for anybody who came by, thank you. Be nice if people chatted in the Twitch chat more often, because that's quite frankly at this point I'm sitting there going like people are apparently coming by and viewing, but no one's saying anything. It's kind of hard to hit even affiliate with that one. I need people to chat. Um, all right. Anybody coming by on Twitch, you could drop me a follow. That'd be great. If you already have, thank you. If you're watching this on the YouTube end, if you could give me a comment, let me know what you think. Give me a subscribe if you like what you see. And otherwise, you guys can check out my socials to see my schedule. And also just get an alert that says that I'm getting on, that I'm streaming. Okay. I think that's pretty much it. Other than my next stream will be this Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We continue with Ghosts of Tsushima, and I think we're actually heading into the end game, so we'll actually be finishing up. And yes, I have decided that after I finish that, I'm probably going to do a run through on the Darksiders game because the soundtracks were phenomenal, and they announced number 4 apparently last year. So, okay. I think that's pretty much it. So, thank you all for coming. Thank you for watching. I wish everyone to have a good night.